Balls of Steel.
I'm just me.
Welcome to the Boise Romance Festival.
How are you?
I just love accountants.
That's a coincidence.
I like camping.
So do I.
I thought I saw an Airstream in one of your photos.
Yes, that's my home. That's where I live.
Oh, permanently.
Well, as long as I'm alive. Eventually, this body will be a corpse.
What do you mean you reverse engineered our algorithm?
By tokenizing your questions in an embedding matrix and generating a predictive model for the most effective answers, which I provided.
Good morning, Dreamboat. Could we discuss business now?
Go.
Do you like puzzles, Mr. Wolf? Ray King has been murdered. I need your help to finish the job he started.
Well, how does this all connect?
Most brains seek a pattern that's familiar. My brain doesn't work that way.
Braxton?
It's me, your brother.
Can you be in California in 24 hours?
But just call it. How have you been? Merry Christmas. Happy birthday.
But it's not your birthday. Birthday's November 11th.
Unbelievable.
Was your brother up to speed on the case?
So it's been a minute.
Braxton, thank you for coming. I'm really glad you're here.
Did she tell you to say that?
Yeah. Are you happy, Braxton?
Why wouldn't I be happy?
You're transient, you have no significant other, or...
Do what I want when I want it. Have gun, will travel. I mean, yeah. I think we gotta go get drunk. That's my big brother up there!
That was some dancing. Here in cowboy country, we don't mess with another man's girl.
You're from Glendale, Gerald.
It's okay. My brother wasn't having a good time tonight, but now he will.
Is there anything in this world better than punching somebody in the face who's got it coming? No.
Yes.
Shut the front door. You! Hey!
We go over the plan again?
Plan?
Braxton. Thank you. Are you ready?
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm applying sunscreen when twice as likely to develop melanoma as adults.
Can I get a little bit of this?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Toxic Review of The Accountant 2. I'm joined today by the only YouTuber from my original group that's still talking to me, Northern English Bastard. How are you, my friend? How are you doing on this?
I'm doing well, you useful bastard, and hopefully everyone else is.
All right. So I guess we've been about it. Did this get released last week, this movie, The Accountant 2?
Yes. It's been released last week, and I don't think you need to put spoilers on this stream because that trailer is pretty much giving away nearly everything.
It does. They should have put this up before they put that fucking trailer up because they basically just gave the whole thing away. I mean, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
That it was but yeah, I guess we will be talking about spoilery points within the film. I guess it has been out a week, man. There's been so much content this past week. It took me a minute to get to this. I think I was only prompted to because you said that you was fixing to watch it.
Yeah. So last week with the wife, and I really do like this. It's it does actually improve on the first one. It does have its problems a little bit, but we will get into that a bit more. But yeah, I did as much as I like the first one. This does feel a little bit more fun, but at the same time, unlike the trailer, it doesn't go too much into MCU style humor. It does still take itself seriously, and they do flesh out the bond between the brothers a bit more.
Yeah. So for the uninitiated, Christian Wolf, played by Ben Affleck again, is enlisted the treasury agent from the first film, who had been partnered with J.K. Simmons, played by, and I'm going to mispronounce this because it's kind of have his difficult name, Cynthia Adai Robinson. We're just going to call her Hot Treasury Agent. So Hot Treasury Agent, who had been J.K. Simmons' junior partner, who's been doing very well for herself, She enlists Christian and ultimately his brother, Braxton, played by John Berthnall, into helping her figure out what has happened. Because unlike the first film, J.K. Simmons, unfortunately, he even though he's top billed in this film, I think he actually gets killed in the first 5 minutes.
You serious?
Yeah, sorry. So if you were hoping for another J.K. Simmons big performance, I guess he'd been retired, working as a private investigator, and ultimately trying to help hot Treasury chick figure out what's been going on with this human trafficking scheme. It's the bad guy thing is a little bit more convoluted than it was in the first one, so that's maybe my only gripe. But I mean, we can get into that more. But so basically, she enlists Christian's help, figures out a way to contact him, does so. He comes in with his, disembodied hot British chick voice person, Justine, and her group of little, savant autistic kids, in order for him to figure out what exactly happened, how J.K. Simmons was murdered and why, and basically trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. It seems a little bit bigger than he may or may not be able to handle, even with her help. So he calls in the assassin brother Braxton from the first film, played by John Berthnall, and they basically have an autistic buddy cop movie, so to speak. And it is a fucking delight. It is an absolute delight. That's probably the biggest selling point of this film. The rest of the plot doesn't really matter too much, but I mean, if you want to extrapolate on it, you certainly can. But, they have a few different little whoopsies and daisies with Danielle Pineda playing someone who was a victim and has now been turned into a sort of assassin for the cartel, or is she working for herself, and all that stuff kind of gets sorted out. And then the rest of it is basically a buddy cop shoot 'em up with, Christian and his brother. And John Berthnall is just chewing the fucking scenery in this film. I mean, just nonstop. Everything that he's in, from the moments when he's trying to psych himself up to do a job and try on different voices, to where he's having a heart-to-heart discussion with the only survivor of a massacre that he's just done in a high-end hotel loft. All of these things, everything that he does is solid gold. That's probably the biggest selling point that I could say for this film. Go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I do actually like this better than the first one. It is mostly John Berthnall and Ben Affleck that make this movie, and it's really good to sort of see Affleck kind of evolve a little bit more. He's starting to sort of lighten up a little bit more and try to be a bit more functioning socially as well. He's you can really see he's trying. He's sort of failing, and he does seem to have a gift for deadpan humor as well, because he just says every single line so straight as well, and it's so funny. And and I do like they both are very lonely as well. I like the fact that John Berthnall is kind of this sociopath, but he's looking for some companionship, even if it's with some blonde beard of a bunch of people who's friends with a bunch of people that he's just killed this minute. It's it did kind of lead. The reveal didn't really make me laugh. It was like I just thought it was an awkward date, but then we see later it's not an awkward date. It's just fucking trying to bond with her for some reason after killing all these people.
Yeah.
But,
he definitely gets a lot of flex time, but then again, as you pointed out, so does Ben Affleck. I mean, I think it's almost like somebody came to him after the 2016 film and just said, "Look, man, you got to dial down the autistic, savant shit, because they're regular people who do regular stuff too." It almost seems like that, and I'm glad they did. It's so weird. This movie's on, the sequel, excuse me, almost 10 years past the first one, and they've definitely picked it up in leaps and bounds. When it first came out in 2016, the original, they had that whole thing going on, like the Predator movie, which would come out a year later, where autism is a superpower. And they do lean into that a little bit when they have the kids working on stuff. You basically have the disembodied voice chick that gives him the job, his handler, so to speak. And she's got this group of Elon Musk, Doge kids that are just figuring out, all the angles and doing it like in a cool competition and stuff, but it's never played like insulting, and it's not mean in any way, although I'm sure we'll find some sort of review of this that says it's disparaging to people on the spectrum or some bullshit like that.
I know what I mean, like I'm pretty much fucking autistic as well. I'm just a little bit more functioning than most, but I didn't find anything offensive about this. I mean, all right, we do kind of get a little bit stereotyped that we got these superhuman man powers like Rain Man, but I don't mind. It's a very complicated condition. There's so many. There's some that have severe autism and some that have very mild autism. It all depends.
Yeah. One of the things that I really like that they do in this movie is they just where the first one was basically Ben Affleck's chance to do Jason Bourne, like it's his thing to he called up Matt Damon, was like, I want to do my own Jason Bourne type thing, but I'm gonna make him autistic. Where that first one kind of leaned into that really hard. This one's like a funny kind of buddy cop thing where they really play into the relationship of the brothers, which I really, really like.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, and I like the fact that Medina actually gets to play a little bit more of a part in their plot as well, because her and J.K. Simmons were kind of separate from Christian Wolf's character a little bit more. They didn't really get involved in his plot. They just seemed to be like investigating him a little bit, and that's about it. And nothing really came of it. But Medina, even Medina has a good chemistry with Affleck and Bernthal, because she's kind of the moral backbone, isn't she? While these guys are kind of a little bit dodgy. I mean, you see Ben Affleck pretty much getting his autistic buddies to hack into a woman's laptop, which is pretty unethical.
Yeah, that was an interesting scene. She fussed about that. You're talking about Hot Treasury chick, right?
Yeah, Medina. Yeah, that's her name. That's a character's name.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting scene, because I'm sitting there watching that. I'm like, wow, this is pretty clever. Good use for these kids. And then she's like horrified that they're doing this thing, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess that kind of tells you where my moral compass is a little bit, but sorry.
Well, it's kind of like the Dark Knight, isn't it? When he hacks into every single of the citizens' phones just to fucking triangulate Joker's position.
I didn't even think of that until you just said it, but that's actually a really good point. I didn't.
Yeah,
so it didn't even occur to me.
It's a very morally ambiguous scene as well, because it's kind of unethical, but at the same time, he needs to find this person, doesn't he? It's like how far are you willing to go to get the job done?
I guess because my background, I actually happen to know that nothing that anyone has is safe in any way. I guess I just don't really think about the fact that people are actually worried about stuff, because I mean, Big Brother's looking at every single thing you do. You really don't have the freedoms that you think you do. So I guess when I see stuff like that, and if it's cleverly done, one of the things right here that I wanted to point out really quick, this bar fight scene has got to be one of the best things in the entire film. The two of them are just having the most fun. It's a completely unnecessary. There's no reason to put that in the film, really. I mean, literally, they're just sitting there talking about this and that and the mission and whatever, and then he's just like, "Let's go get drunk," and you know that they're gonna go get in a bar fight of some kind or do some crazy shit. And I thought that was really good. But yeah, Hot Treasury chick, she definitely, what is her name? How do you say her name?
Medina, apparently.
Is that her character name?
I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name right anyway, because I'm shit at pronouncing names. You've seen my videos.
Yeah, I know. Well, in this instance, I'm no better. But she gets a lot of chance to flex in this. And I remember her not being a very vital or big part in the original film. I think I remember some sort of I listened to Blue Collar's rewatch a few weeks ago when they did this.
Yeah, I think God King mentioned that.
Wasn't there like a plot point about her lying on her application or something like that, or being, she was dodgy herself or something like that?
I kind of forgot about that a little bit more, to be honest. So maybe it's a little character involvement. Maybe she has kind of redeemed herself and she's trying not to be that kind of person now. And the fact that she's getting involved with these two people who are willing to sort of like bend the rules a little bit kind of does make her a little uncomfortable.
I think I think one of the main things that I liked is the fact that, now she is in the position that J.K. Simmons was in the first one. And she's very reticent to use these guys. She kind of realizes, like when she first enlists Christian Wolf's help, it's a situation where it's like, I don't know if this is like the smartest thing I can do, but I'm kind of hitting a wall where I'm at, even with all her resources with the treasury and things like that. And then when he brings his brother in, then that adds another layer of, oh shit, what have I really stepped into here? So I did like that a lot. I like how she plays the part. I feel like she's one of those actresses, without going into a deep dive like Lance, I feel like I've seen her in a lot of other stuff and I don't know what. I'd have to like look up her CV and see what all she's done. But I also like this chick Pineda that plays the assassin. What's your thoughts on that? Because I get a weird.
Yeah, I really wish she was utilized a bit more to the plot, because it seems like she's kind of part of this second plot that's plonked in there and only occasionally becomes relevant a couple of times, but doesn't really feel as part of it though. It kind of convolutes the film a little bit, but I have heard there's a third one movie coming out, so maybe this is kind of building up to that in a way. Who knows?
Maybe that could be a thing. Sometimes they plant a seed with a character or with a plot point, and then they pay it off in the following film. So I mean, to that end, that's cool if that's what's going on. I don't know what to think about that, but I do know that whatever the thing, Pineda, she plays the part very well. I mean, she doesn't come off, it's not a bunch of she uses tricks and speed and stuff like that. She doesn't have a bunch of accommodating. I mean, she's not getting into brawls. The only person she really brawls with is with hot treasury chick. And I felt a real sense of they did that scene really good. You got Christian on the motorbike racing to go save it, like pushing it up to 200 because he knows that she's been targeted, and you realize that, hey, she's law enforcement or whatever, but you realize that she's really fucking out of her league dealing with this assassin chick, and you're really worried about her in that scene, which is weird because I was like, wow, they're building up the tension here. So but that if I have any complaints about the film, it probably is that plot is kind of lost, or like you say, convoluted, and I don't really understand what's going on. I mean, she certainly drives a lot of the plot. I mean, I guess she was someone who was trafficked, is I guess what we're supposed to.
Yeah, apparently she was. Yeah, and she had this trauma that unleashed a lot of skills, and like I said, a little convoluted, but. If this is setting up for the third one, which plays into this one, it might actually improve. I will actually cut it some slack because they've actually got a plan here. They haven't just plonked it in at the last minute.
Maybe one other complaint is that some of the other bad guys that they have.
There's no main bad guy, is there, at the moment? And in the first one, you had John Lithgow, didn't you?
Yeah.
But here you kind of like. Okay, who's the guy in charge here? Who's the one that we should be focusing on hoping our heroes take on? I mean, we need that. We need the main bad guy.
Yeah, they got the Grant Harvey playing Cobb, but he's just some faceless assassin in it. So I mean, basically, it's just the cartel itself and who they employ. And I mean, they got a really dodgy scene where in order to clean up the collateral. The bad guys are going to like wipe out a bunch of kids and shit like that. So that's kind of, it's like, oh, whoa, that's fucked up. They're basically marching the kids. To this big open grave.
It goes fucking dark when it needs to. And Jesus Christ, there's enough child murder here to give Anakin Skywalker an erection. So
yikes. Other than that, I mean, they have the great ending, shoot them up with the two brothers. They're both firing on all cylinders, no pun intended. Both Berthnall and Affleck know how to handle weapons. They do really good in their scene. They play off of each other. It's obvious they both were trained with the same skill set by their special forces dad, and then the line of work that they both went into. They're both ex-military, and everything that they do seems believable. Watching the way that they handled the weapons and then the way that they partner up, with each other, it's pretty good. They have a little bit of plot armor in there because they're taking on like a lot of dudes, but none of the stuff seemed like super duper over the top or unbelievable to me. And I just had a really fun time with their action set piece.
And they fucking reload as well this time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah. as opposed to Havoc, that we just talked about recently on Lance's show, where the guns fire, forever and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it was it's really good, really well done. I had a lot of fun with it. It definitely was one of those things, even though strangely enough, I was at work last night, I was still able to get to the movie theater and watch it. So, that was a good thing. Luckily I had one of those all night theaters that I could go to and watch the film. You know how that goes. But so yeah, that's how I watched it. And I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with the whole thing. I like the dynamic. I was a little worried when I saw the trailers that they were going to go make John Berthnall a little too cool for school and then play up on Ben Affleck's, condition and things like that. But they didn't really do that. And they kind of made Berthnall a little bit, if not on the spectrum, a little awkward when he's like dealing with people. Like he's so big on, going from town to town and killing people and living the kind of merc life that he does, that, he has a hard time relating to people. And in that way, he's kind of similar to, Ben Affleck's character. So
yeah,
like
and
that.
he's trying to build companionship with anyone, even if it's the girl of the fucking people that is just killed in the robe. I really likes that. And yeah, he's trying to get a fucking dog as well because he's lonely. He wants a companion. He wants some companionship, doesn't he?
He really chews the scenery in this and not in a bad way. I mean, you really get the feeling that, these two guys are kind of like lost souls taught how to be killers, and they serve no real other function besides that. So, and there wasn't a whole bunch of, the trailer kind of made it out to be that there was going to be a whole bunch of animosity between the two of them, maybe, and there was going to be this weird dynamic, but it wasn't. It was more like, they had a lot of fun. They were playful. The whole bar scene is great. Berthnall is really, he's given it everything in that scene. And even Ben Affleck, it comes off adorable. It's like, I don't know how to make my brother have a good time except to fuck up a bunch of random dudes. Like,
I do like the fact that he delves in the tragedy of their estranged relationship as well. I mean, because his brother has only just contacted him because he needs him, and he kind of feels a little bit hurt by it. And he's like, "Listen, do you even care, or is it just your condition that's?" And Ben Affleck responds saying, he kind of takes a while to answer as well. He stumbles a little bit, and he says, "I'm just me."
Yeah,
and it's kind of sad as well. But it's like, yeah, he obviously does care. It's just he has no way how to sort of process what he wants to say.
Yeah. Kind of made me want to rewatch the first one again because there was a lot of stuff that because I only seen the first one the one time and I was like, it's okay. Autistic Jason Bourne, I guess. But this one, this one's just a lot of fun. If you're looking for a buddy hitman movie, I mean, you could do a lot worse than The Accountant Part 2, as far as that goes. So what do you want to give it a score or something, or like one? How many autistic savants out of 5 would you give it?
I'd give it a good 4 autistic savants out of 5.
Nice. I think I would do the same. Maybe 4.5. So like 4 autistic savants and then one that's been made a vegetable and like put in a wheelchair. So like 4.5, 4.5.
Yeah, sounds fair.
But yeah, no, good film. I was very happy. Definitely made my night go by a lot quicker. If you like this film, if you thought that it was good, if you enjoyed it, if it was one of those things that you thought was a little cheesy and you didn't like it, whatever, then that's fine. It is what it is. I mean, if you're insulted by this kind of material where you don't like the whole autism as a superpower thing, and because you have a cousin or a brother or a son or a daughter that's on the spectrum, well, here at the Lord of Toxicity Toxic Rewatch, we want you to know that we are very, very sympathetic to your cause.
I'm retarded? Balls of Steel.